Hello and welcome to Cinder Shadow Gaming. I am your host, Cinder Shadow, and this is This Week in Magic. Well, we know This Week in Magic has been completely rocked by the absolute bomb of a card that Wizards of the Coast put out. I spoke a bit about it last night during the live stream, but today, in This Week in Magic, I've got to cover it completely. There is a lot to unpack with this card and what it means for the Commander community and Magic the Gathering in general. So first thing first, we have Gavin coming out. This is 9 days ago. From today. The spoiler was yesterday, and he's saying on a post that he put out on Reddit in particular, why does Commander Legends draft work this way, and what can you expect? Good morning, Magic. This is part of the video that they've been doing with the spoilers and stuff like that, but Gavin came out and put up a comment post to this. It has been the top post to his video. I can't guarantee there will be zero, but our goal was definitely not to make a bunch more Arcane Cygnets and Therasaurus. Don't get me wrong, the set has many strong cards. We will see plenty of play, but we are generally trying to not make cards go into almost every deck of a certain color / combo. Or cards that absolute already popular commanders. That's really important for the long-term health of the format. You don't say! You want the long-term health of the format, and you thought this Jeweled Lotus was a good idea. This is not a good idea. This is something that's going to create a complete counterbalance of the game and is a money grab for your latest Christmas set that's already delayed for the market standard. So we're walking into what I'm calling the perfect storm of a Magic the Gathering influence, where Commander players are going to get completely screwed over by this set, and everyone needs this card for their deck now, and you've essentially limited the amount of cards that you put into a Commander deck by one extra card. We've already got Arcane Cygnet, Command Tower, and many other cards that are a must-have, must-staple in this format. So everyone's up to speed on what I'm talking about with the Jeweled Lotus. It's a zero-casted artifact, pretty much comes down to a reprint of the Black Lotus into a Commander staple only. This card is only usable in Commander. You could put it in Legacy or Vintage, but you're not going to get anything for it, and thus it's dead on arrival for those. But in Commander, one of the most highest played formats out there right now, and happens to be a casual format which does not need this type of power creep in it, they've completely missed the mark on the type of stuff that we're seeing for Commander. And Commander Legends is full of this stuff, but Jeweled Lotus is taking the cake for one of the most hated cards already by the community. The outpouring amount of hate for this card is unbelievable. I myself do not like to see this. People are coming out and saying there's Rule 0 where you can ban cards in your own play group and stuff like that, but that's, in all honesty, is going to create fights, and it's going to create people with the distaste of Magic, and people will just walk away from the game. I was hoping to maybe pick up a box of Commander Legends myself, but because of this one card, it is now going to make the set so utterly expensive, I'm not even going to pick up a pack of this product. It's going to price me out, and it's going to price out a lot of the casual players that this product is meant for. A lot of people say, well, you got to have this in your hand. You got to do this. What do you do with it after it's in your graveyard? What do you do with it? It doesn't matter. This is a mana rock, a ramp rock. There's been certain combos that people have come down with. You know, you're not going to get all your combo pieces right away when it comes down to Commander. The whole idea of Commander is to play out a long game and have an enjoyable game with your friends, maybe chill out, have some beers, and actually play around the kitchen table. And that was the entire reason why Commander was made. Not for this power-pushed, money-grubbing BS of a game that... It's unbelievable how far that this is going to make for Commander players, and I really feel sorry for the community in this. This card should not exist, and Wizards of the Coast knows better than to put out things like this. But over the last 2 years, we've seen the power level creep. We've seen it get pushed. We had Modern Horizons completely and utterly turn Modern on its head, and now they've banned, I think, 4 cards from the entire set after they get all your hard-earned dollars. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is only for Commander. You cannot use this in any other format. So because of that, the card will never get banned. It won't get banned, even though the rules committee came out saying that it is on their radar. They won't be able to ban this, because if they ban this, you're going to have an outcry of people completely freaking out because they dropped $100 to $200 on a copy of this card. The fact that this is a singleton format, people are going to still want multiple copies of this, so they don't have to switch it through multiple decks with it. But when it comes down to it, this card should not exist, and I feel very bad for the community that now has to envelop this card and sit there and go, well, what the hell do we do with this? That's exactly what it is. Talking about the price point and the way it is, we've got MTG Goldfish coming out saying, oh, is this the new Black Lotus? And in all intents and purposes, it is not a new Black Lotus. It is ultimately a card that... if the Black Lotus didn't exist in the first place, this card wouldn't exist. So that's where that comes from. The Black Lotus is a original card from Alpha. The thing sells for up to $200,000. It's absolutely ridiculous, the price point, and people don't play with the card anymore. It is just collecting dust in a lot of cases. If people are playing with the card, which they do mostly on MTGO, you get things like Aluris being able to bring it back, and then you're getting 3 free mana, or you have other cards like Oko turning it into a 3/3 elk. In Commander, thankfully, your Planeswalkers can't really be Commander unless it's been tagged that, which is another power creep all in itself. And it kind of... this whole thing goes against the fundamentals of the game. If you want to sit down and have a game with your friends, have a casual game of Commander, this card throws all of that casual game away. This makes the game more competitive. It makes the game more, let's get this bombshell of a card out, get it down there right away. MTG Goldfish, last I checked, had this at $199.99. It has now reached $210, and I believe earlier today I did see it at $220. This card is absolutely... a powerhouse. And is this card strong? Yes, it's very strong. It makes more expensive commanders cheaper. You're able to get them down 3 turns earlier. You're able to do this. They've even grabbed the quote from Gavin saying Arcane Cygnet is another card that is technically stronger because it's something that persists and continues to go on. And then he talks about Dark Ritual, and Dark Ritual in itself has created this whole outpouring thing of Dark Ritual. If you play, and do you play Dark Ritual in EDH? That's like saying if you're playing the color green, are you ramping? It's a plain and simple. It is in the top 10 cards of black spells played if you're playing a black commander, and it's a one-shot, but yeah, that one-shot really does make a difference when it comes down to it. Sometimes it enables combos, sometimes it gets things down earlier. It's just absolutely bonkers when they're comparing a Black Lotus or a Jeweled Lotus to Dark Ritual when it does come down to it. There is the opportunity for this Jeweled Lotus to come back from the graveyard and reuse it and reuse it and reuse it. It's going to get broken, and unfortunately it's something that is very very bad. Then they've got the Commander Rules Committee here. While it's not getting emergency banned, you can be assured that Jewel Lotus will be on our radar for some time. As always, with picking up singles on the secondary market, it is not getting emergency banned. We knew it was coming. And these guys are famous for buying up singles and everything like that before these spoilers come out. These are the same people that actually did ban Black Lotus and based it on the limited supply of the card. They've also banned the Moxes. But when it comes down to your play group, that's where this Rule 0 comes and you guys settle on it. But in all intents and purposes, if you're in a store and you're buying Commander Legends and you open one of these and you want to put it into your Commander deck, are you going to really have your friends sit there and go, no, you can't play with that, you have to either sell it or get rid of it or something like that? No, the market is going to envelop this card and it's going to dry up very quickly on the supply that there is. And talking about the supply, there is more to that. They go on to talk about things with Mana Crypt and Soul Ring. Soul Ring has been printed into Oblivion. Arcane Cygnet is another one that they have here, which has now been printed into Oblivion. But when Arcane Cygnet first came out, they were looking at $50 for this card because it was the first printing of it. So if the Jeweled Lotus is this renowned and this highly sought after, they're going to have to print it into Oblivion. Now here's the thing. The reserve list was created because of reprints like these. This is why they made the reserve list, so people don't have a feel bad moment when it comes down to an expensive card like this. The Jeweled Lotus being $200 at this point, if the Commander's Committee sits there and bans this card from all play, then people will have a reason to go after Wizards of the Coast and saying, hey, you printed me this very expensive card, why can't I use it? They say I can't use it because it's not controlled by them. So this card will never be banned. I can tell you right now, it will never be banned. And because of that, the value of it is going to stay astronomical. It's just too many things are creating a storm of factors, and this is why the card is bad for the game, it's bad for Commander, and why it never should have been printed. So what I have here is a couple more screenshots. One's from Star City Games on the pre-order price of $99.99. At that price, I wouldn't be surprised if people are scooping it up very quickly. Apparently there's 9 in stock. This product hasn't made it out to the masses, so I don't know how they can even justify that you have stock on this product. The other one that I have here is Card Kingdom, showing $169.99. Once again, they have it in stock with 4 of them at the time of me taking the screenshot. So there is a few things there saying that this card is available. The card's not even actually out to the masses yet. Obviously, these bigger companies do get to do mass box openings for this card, so hopefully this does drive down the price. But this card is absolutely ridiculous and should never have been printed once again. We know Commander Legends was pushed back because of supply chain issues and stuff like that. They did an update on September 17th reflecting the current timeline. Due to production issues, some Zendikar Rising and Commander Legends products will experience delays at launch. This right here is signaling to me that they are going to have many more problems going forward, like they did with Jumpstart in the supply issues. And because Commander Legends is a one-shot type of product, not a standard print run product where they keep printing it and keep printing it, Commander Legends, as far as I know, is print to demand, but it doesn't take the hot seat to be printed to demand. They've printed a bunch for it, and it continues. So this doesn't come out until November 20th. We're still in October here when I'm making this. So this is going to continue to have problems and long-term issues when it does come to the supply chain stuff. Now, with the supply chain, it's creating a perfect storm in a sense. This card being at $200 today, I do suspect that it will come down a little bit once we see the market fluctuate, but I do expect that to rebound higher as things come forward and we find out that there is more product delays going to happen. With Jumpstart, it had a very difficult time getting into the European countries, mainly because the printing facilities in the European countries was shut down due to lockdowns, and that's a whole different story. COVID is wreaking havoc on the economies of everybody, and it's not the way that businesses can continue to run. This is going to drive businesses underground, and it's going to make them very bad. But it also has a adverse reflect on the MTG market, and that is where we have these higher price points. We have the Jeweled Lotus being $200 today. Tomorrow it might be $300. If you get a special version of this thing, then I would hold on to it, because that value is going to go through the roof. Like I said before, they're not going to be able to ban this card. They can't. It's only usable in one format. Because it's only usable in that format, they cannot ban it from that format. The Commander's Rules Committee, if they came out and banned it, there would be, I think, a lot more people upset that it's getting banned at this point than people being upset that it's not being banned. You can take the choice and say to your friends and your play group, we're not going to use this, but if you're going to do that, I would suggest maybe getting rid of all the other stuff that is unique to Commander, like Command Tower, Arcane Cygnet, and everything else that has to deal with your Commander directly as an extra card and an auto include when it comes down to this stuff. It's going to open you up to better deck building when it does come down to it, and much more enjoyable games. The more of these types of cards that Wizards of the Coast is pushing out into the market, the more must-have scenario, the less variance you're going to get in these games. And this is why I'm solely against this card ever being printed. There's a lot of backlash. Like, I went back and forth with people on Twitter over this. They're saying, oh, this card, what do you do afterwards? There's many things you can do with this thing. If you have a way to bring it back from your graveyard, in which case there's a lot of ways to bring back artifacts and put them down. Then you can cheat out your commander a little bit cheaper. This is on the same line of like Fires of Invention, and Fires of Invention really needs to be banned when it comes down to commander, because that thing makes it absolutely impossible to deal with. I ran it with my Nicol Bolas deck, and it's for Brawl, and it just doesn't feel fair when the card's down. It's something else that needs to go. Anyway, guys, that's this week in Magic. I know it's focus on the one card, but in all honesty, this card has taken up everything right now. We've got Gavin from Wizards of the Coast sitting out there and pretty much lying to our faces, saying they're not printing these absolute needed staples, and yet then a few days later they come out with the Jeweled Lotus as a spoiler. Like, that just throws everything out. That if he really wants to gain stuff in the community, that's not the way you do it. You don't come out and say, well, we're not printing staples, and then you throw that thing out there and it's a must-have staple when it comes down to commander. There's two sides of this coin, and you can't play both sides when it comes down to it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you did like the video, let me know down below. Maybe you guys have a different perspective than I do. Leave a comment on it. I really think this card is absolutely bonkers and should not exist when it comes down to Magic the Gathering. They banned Black Lotus and the Moxes from Commander, stating that they're not available because of the amount of cards there is on the market when it comes down to it, and then they turn around and do this. Now that makes those unavailable cards, that valid reason why they're banned is no longer valid. If Wizards of the Coast is going to print like similar cards for a specific format, this is like printing a Black Lotus with one single purpose. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry about the rantiness today. Have yourselves a great day, and happy Halloween. We will be doing a live stream hopefully later tonight.